All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to question 8 of the regex worksheet. It's quite a long worksheet. You can get lots of practice with regex. But here we have it. So question 8 says, given that some text equals this long string, I've got 10 eggs, 20 gooses, and 30 giants, use re.findAll to extract all the items and quantities from the string. So the result should look like this. So basically, we just have to parse the string. They give you a couple big hints or some information that you should definitely use. It says you may assume that a space separates quantity and type, and that each item ends in S. So they don't give us like all of the information, but they give us a pretty big chunk of information. So clearly what we need to do is we need to use the string and then write a pattern that will match 10 eggs, 20 gooses, and 30 giants. Um, so I've loaded up regex 101 again just to kind of visualize and kind of see where we're going. Um, so one thing it looks like is that each we need the quantity and we need the item. Those are two things, and they're right next to each other in the string. So that'll make things easier for us, but we need the quantity and the item. Well, how do we match the quantity? Well, it looks like each each quantity, it looks like two digits put together. So we can just do this. We want two digits put together. Alternatively, if you don't like doing this, this just means two digits. You could say one digit, but I want it two times. And these two are exactly equivalent. I just like this, makes no difference which one you use. So that's great. Well, it says another note is that a space separates quantity and type. Okay, awesome. Well, in regex, we can't really put a space, or maybe maybe we can in regex 101, but the preferred way to kind of match white space is with /s. And /s, it's not just going to match spaces, but will also match things like tabs or maybe other like spaces of different lengths. And it says it's shorthand for all of these other meta characters that we haven't really talked about. Looks like the new line is in here. So that's besides the point. Whenever we, in this class, we talk about spaces or matching white space, definitely use /s. So that's awesome. Now, how do we match eggs and gooses and giants? Well, it looks like we clearly want like some type of letters. And the way we use the kind of like the shorthand to denote letters, of course, we could do A to Z, A to Z. So we could do something like that. And then, of course, that's only going to match one letter. And really what we want to do is we want to match this we want to match this multiple times. The plus mean, again, one or more times. So it looks like we did it here. It looks like this works perfect. We've matched the quantity and the item. We actually didn't use one piece of information that they give us, that they say, you may assume that a space separates quantity and type, and that each item ends in S. So this is kind of a fairly well-formed string. There's like each item has a comma following it or a period. So this will work just fine in this case. But if we wanted to be sure, we wanted to be absolutely sure that our match ends with an S, we could just put in an S. And it looks like, yeah, it's not going to make much of a difference. If we put D in here, for example, the letter D, then we don't match anything because there's no D anywhere in the string. So now we have no matches at all. But just to be safe, we can ensure that our match ends with S. And that way, in case we added some gibberish here, we would still only match the 10 eggs. Whereas if we had just left it as this, now we would match it for everything. So that's why we can include this S here in addition to the plus. All right, so that looks like a good pattern. We could throw that into regex 13. And now it says use re.findAll. So we can do re.findAll. Again, findAll is coming from the regex module. And I'm not entirely sure the order of the arguments, but I think it would be your pattern, which in this case, we've called it regex13, and then the string that you're trying to like match with, which would be some text. And I think that should work. And yes, it does. We get exactly the result we were expecting. Great.